I, 36F, found out that my husband, 38M, has a Camilla, 42F. I am not the oop. Oop is you, throw a royal mess. I, 36F, found out that my husband, 38M, has a Camilla, 42F. Originally posted to our relationship advice. Thanks to you, PETA Enigma, for suggesting this BORU. Trigger warning. Manipulation, homophobia, possible infidelity, emotional abuse, neglect, less than. Original post February 12, 2024. I've been married to my husband for 2 years now. It's a first marriage for both of us. His family has been very good to me. They immediately accepted me, welcomed me in, started including me in family events. Really made it not even a second thought to say yes when he proposed after a year of us being together. I noticed on social media that there are always likes from a teenage boy on posts that he puts up about me. I thought it was a bit weird that he's friends with a teenager. So I looked through the photos I could see on his profile. There are a few with my husband from about 810 years ago as well as another woman. When I asked my husband, he said that the boy is his ex-girlfriend's son. He explained that they were very serious but that she had ended up getting married to someone else. This seemed odd to me. So I asked my Mill about her the next time I saw her. My Mill rolled her eyes and said, "Don't even mention Val. I am so glad that you came along. Because that girl was so bad for him. She was unemployed, a single mother, and just very trashy. We never would have accepted her. I am very successful career-wise and well-established. My family is very prominent in the community and well-regarded." The more I thought about it, the more it really felt like my background had more to do with things than anything. I asked my husband about Val again and asked if he would have married her if not for his family. He said that one of the biggest reasons she chose someone else was because his family refused to accept her. When I asked what was different about me, he responded, "She was Camilla and you're Diana." I asked him if that meant he would marry her if anything happened to me. He shook his head, laughed, and said I was being ridiculous and that he didn't think like that. I told him I wanted him to remove and block his ex and her son from his social media immediately, and to stop communicating with them. He's told me that he has a cordial relationship with both of them and that he doesn't feel it's fair of me to ask him to cut them out. Is there a good way for me to deal with this knowledge? I'm losing sleep over the fact that I feel like a placeholder that is there to please his family, and that he'll go back to her once his parents are gone. I'm starting to doubt every interaction I ever had with him. When I bring it up to him, he gets upset and tells me to stop dwelling on his past. I wish that I'd never known this because I feel like all of my happiness has been drained. Is there a good way to approach this? TL. Doctor found out that I am the Diana to my husband's Camilla and I don't know what to do. I feel like my whole marriage has been shattered. Relevant comments. 4,459,691. How long ago did they break up? It sounds like he caved into family pressure and broke up her? Or she broke up him? Oop. They broke up 9 years ago. She dated someone else, married him, and has since divorced. From what I understand, she started seeing this other person because he wouldn't commit to her. Update March 4, 2024. 3 weeks later. Original post. Thank you to everyone who responded to my previous post. A lot has gone down since I posted, and not much of it has been good, to be honest. I'm starting to wish that I'd let well enough alone, but I guess I'm stuck now. So I sat down with my husband and told him that this whole Val thing was really bothering me. That I'd never heard her name before for someone he held in such high regard. He explained that she had cheated on him and had married the guy she cheated with. They stopped speaking for a while, but they started being cordial again as she was having problems in her marriage and through her divorce. He swears on his life that there's only friendship there, that he can't ever forgive her, and that he has no interest in her romantically anymore. We share location history on our phones and have cameras on our house, so I know he's not lying about seeing her. My husband was my first in a lot of ways. Everything except my first kiss. So I tend to be a bit more jealous than others. My husband has more of a past, and it makes me very uncomfortable, even though I know it's a reality that I have to accept. I'm also diagnosed as on the autism spectrum, so I tend to be socially awkward and miss certain cues, which caused me not to really have close relationships up until him. I was over at my parents' house telling my mother about Val. She kept telling me not to worry, that everyone has a past, and that he obviously chose me. Little background. My father is a girl dad. I'm the third of 4 girls. He's been my protector my whole life, and he will go after anyone that hurts me. Dad overheard Mom and me, and came into the kitchen. Are you serious right now? He's talking to Val again? I'm going to him. Quote, I asked my father how he knew about Val. I looked at my mother and she was looking at him with a horrified look. He said he overheard us, and it's not right for him to talk to other women. They tried to talk around it, but I demanded an answer and they finally relented. My mother admitted that they had arranged my marriage. We'd been seeing each other for a month and I met his parents. Shortly after, his mother called mine, explained about Val, how they were afraid he would go back to her, and how they wanted to do everything they could to make sure that their son married the right girl. I asked my mother why she agreed, and she admitted that they were afraid I was gay and that I wouldn't ever have children. She said, that's why my husband was immediately invited to every holiday. That's why he was introduced to multiple relatives in a very short time. That's why they referred to him as family before he proposed. They were trying to set the tone in my mind. My head was spinning. I told them I had to go and I couldn't talk to them anymore. I drove home and felt like I couldn't breathe. I walked into our house and told my husband everything. He laughed. He actually laughed. He told me that he'd figured it out a while ago and thought I had too. He told me that his parents paid for me to go on vacation with them. They made a point of getting everyone in the family to share how much they liked me. They gave him extra gift certificates to take me out to dinner and other events. His mother cleaned his apartment and did all of his laundry while he was at work, so his nights and weekends were free for me. When he said he was going to save the money for a ring, they gave it to him. And they kept telling him what a good match I was for him. He asked his parents while we were engaged if it had been the plan to keep him away from Val. And his mother admitted that it had been. He told me that he fell in love with me while we were together. What he feels for me is real, and that he loves the life we have together. He said it doesn't matter how it started because what we have is strong and real. I don't know how I feel. I can't even talk to anyone because I'm apparently the only person who didn't know this happened. I feel like such an idiot. I am furious with his parents for doing this, furious with mine for going along with it, and hurt that he didn't tell me the truth once he figured it out. I do not know if I want a divorce. My husband has been trying very hard to be supportive of me. I've told him I don't feel like talking. He keeps asking me if he can get me anything and asking me little questions to try to get me to talk. But I can't even get my feelings straight right now. I feel betrayed by every person who is supposed to care about me, and I have no idea what the hell to do now. TL. Dr. Husband is not having an affair. I am in an arranged marriage and I am the only one who didn't realize it. Our parents suck. Relevant comments. Maxati. Wow. Just wow. This is some Truman Show level betrayal. I'm sorry, friend. If I could, I would give you the biggest hug. Oop. I need a hug. I've felt like I want to throw up since I found out. TLF 555. This is a lot to deal with. Sorry you are having to deal with this fallout. I'm not from a culture where arranged marriages are a norm. So please forgive my ignorance on any protocols. 1. I blame your parents. Most of all, knowing this man's history and still trying to make you marry him because they thought you were gay? Even if you were gay, wouldn't that be all the more reason not to arrange a marriage? 2. Is there an out clause of acceptable reasons for divorce or annulment in your culture? Would your family support you if you decided to do this? If not, are you able to be financially self-sufficient? Oop. I'm not from a culture where arranged marriages are a norm. So please forgive my ignorance on any protocols. Nor am I. I was the last of my siblings to get married, and up until that point I had never seriously dated anyone. My parents are conservative white Christian Republicans. There are few things worse that I could be to them. My husband and I both make 6 figures. Money is not an issue at all. For the first time in my life I told someone I loved him and believed I had actually built something real with someone. Was it all a lie? Is this all some sick joke on me? Am I only good as someone's placeholder? Texas Sucks 15. This sounds like a horror, thriller movie, TBH. Also, why is he so prone to have a relationship with Camilla's child? Is it his? Oop. The child predates their relationship. They did not know each other when he was born. This is a repost sub IAM, not the oop. I'm not sure what to make of this one, but I laughed at, nor am I. Sometimes I regret clicking on stories that aren't concluded, and this is one of them. The husband was an idiot for comparing them to Diana and Camilla. Like, did he not know how that ended? It's definitely giving the Charles-Diana-Camilla love triangle, but worse because even her parents betrayed her. I cannot fathom how upsetting it would be to discover my parents secretly commiserated with another couple to practically marry me off to my partner, let alone to avoid an unwanted relationship. Oop has been betrayed so many times over. Whether or not she wants to move forward with the marriage, it does sound like they were happy to a point. She deserves a damn good therapist and cutting off her awful parents for a while until she figures out what she wants. I asked my mother why she agreed, and she admitted that they were afraid I was gay and that I wouldn't ever have children. So the parents are manipulative, homophobic gaslighters who would rather Truman show their daughter into an orchestrated relationship than let her live whatever life she chooses. Everyone in OOP's life has significantly betrayed her trust. She needs space and a whole lot of therapy. Not a huge fan of the husband either, who was happy to go along with it all. This is like she's all that and never been kissed. But instead of high schoolers interfering, it's parents. Awful, awful, awful. Dear Lord. Literally every single family from OP betrayed her trust and failed to be good people. Seriously. Those parents are disgusting for pulling such a thing, and it makes me sick. Husband is also in the wrong for going along with it too. I hope OP is able to have a new life of her choice and move away from those people. Diana and Camilla? And he said she was overreacting? Question mark. I wonder if the husband knew the full breadth of his Charles-Diana-Camilla analogy. I don't think he did, and I think he's an idiot. In a way, she is like Diana. She was tricked into believing that she was having the actual fairy tale marriage with her prince. Charming, but he was only using her for her uterus, whilst having every intention of carrying on seeing Camilla behind her back. Diana had to pretend that she had the perfect marriage in front of the entire world, whilst all the royals knew what was going on. My heart hurts for Oop to find that her relationship was basically built on manipulation. Is Diana to Val's Camilla? That's horrifying. Hell, it was horrifying for Diana. I wonder if OP's husband even knows how that story ended up. It's honestly quite sad even if you take at face value that both sets of parents had good intentions. Her parents were all, wow, she actually got a boyfriend. Race to the altar and integrate with our family ASAP, and his parents were, finally someone appropriate. Son, do what you want. We will settle everything else. The husband probably saw it all with bemusement, but poor Oop was the only one unaware. Maybe he thought that she knew? I hope they seek marriage counseling because I think the hesitation to cut contact with a young kid is reasonable, but that metaphor for their relationship is terrible. Well, this is a complicated mess. I think the jump to therapy is often overdone, but in this case, finding someone to talk to that isn't in on this could be extremely helpful. I'm a logic person, so I'd be doing the pros and cons lists myself. She said she loved him. Can she get that feeling back? Is his not telling her a betrayal since he said he thought she figured it out? Are the actions of the parents fostering, for lack of a better word, this relationship really that bad since she married a man she loved? I mean, they didn't force something she didn't want, but they did push it. He does need to pull away from Val, though, and the two of them work on the relationship so it's a lifelong one and not the placeholder she fears. I hope she can get past that. He laughed. One Piece moment. You can have your parents arrange and move you towards someone they think would be good for you and fall in love with that person too. What they did was manipulative, but they can't manufacture feelings out of nowhere. If you two already had an affinity for each other that grew into love because of all their encouragement, then that love is real. Is your husband being a false version of himself in his life with you? It may take some time to reset after this shock and really suss out what you think and feel about all this and his part in it. It's a tough spot because although you were deceived, no one was trying to pull a prank or do anything mean. They just really wanted a good match for you and for him. We'd been seeing each other for a month and I met his parents. You two were already on a road to a relationship. They were just removing obstacles. They meant well and you two love each other. Now, I am very much a believer in putting the comfort and emotional health of your spouse above any friends or exes that are still friends. I think it might be a conversation for you two to have with a mediator, counselor, therapist or whatever so that he can be brought to understand what his priorities should be and why he's stuck in the "but I don't want to" instead of "how does this make my wife feel?" where he should be. Can someone explain what a Camilla and Diana is? The line about how she doesn't have anyone to talk to because apparently everyone except her already knew about the parents' scheming and the secret one who got away is just awful. The lies of omission by the husband would be the hardest thing for me to forgive. To put her in a position to be blindsided like that by her own parents is cruel. She's Camilla and you're Diana. That's not reassuring. This all kind of gives me the icks. Guys. Is no one else horrified at her husband calling her Diana and his ex Camilla? It's very common knowledge that Charles did not like Diana and cheated on her constantly with Camilla. That is a horrifying comment for her husband to say. Like that would be immediate divorce. He told her what she is to him.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. Epic Haircast is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.